Welcome back. This is Weeknights,
Weeknight.
starring.
Dashing D, aka Dash, aka the King of R&B.
That's right. Let those mother effers know. I wanted to say the real thing, but I couldn't curse like 5 seconds into the show. They
No,
won't. YouTube wouldn't appreciate that. And
yeah.
I am JD, aka He Who Pods. And we're here once again. Y'all know the vibes. Every night, weeknights, we're here to give you the latest and the shameless in the industry. And so there's a lot going on.
I feel like
What
we need
we
a little ditty or something, like a Weeknights.
we could work on that.
Yeah, I feel like
We
we need
definitely
a
could work on that.
little ding ding. A little something.
All
A little,
right, we could work on that. But
some
you know, you know who's been working a lot?
who?
Meg Thee Stallion.
Oh, Meg is always working.
That's a
Meg,
fact.
Meg always got something coming around the corner.
That's right.
Yeah.
And already to start the year, Meg has done a few things.
Okay. Tell me about it.
Number one, she's now the face of Planet Fitness.
I saw this. I saw this. I was fascinated. I was like, oh, I wouldn't have never even made that connection, but go for it.
Me either, but I like it.
Yeah, good for her.
Yeah, that
Got
was
the
pretty cool.
fitness line that's like alongside the Planet Fitness collab. I
Yep.
saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty fly. And
Mhm.
and I don't say that because she's flying in the commercial either. I just mean it's pretty cool.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And yeah, and I just saw today that she has a music video that just dropped,
Mhm.
which is one of the songs on the Mean Girls soundtrack. Mean Girls comes out this weekend, and so it's perfect timing. And
Yeah.
Meg is calling herself the Black Regina George and twerking in a mini skirt on top of a teacher's desk.
Yeah, that she is. I didn't know that she referred to herself as the Black Regina George. This is the first time I'm hearing this, but apparently she has in the past. Um, I don't know if that's a good thing. Have you seen Mean Girls?
Yes, I have. Not this
See,
new one, but the original.
yeah. I was like, in what context are you Regina George?
Right.
Because that's not necessarily a good thing.
Right.
So I was a little confused by that reference, but I guess I don't know enough. So I'll leave that to her and her fans. I'm sure they know exactly what that's about. And you know what? I'll chalk it up to it being none of my business.
Yeah, I'm with you on that because
Hmm.
I don't want any smoke with those folks. But
No.
I think it's
It's a good
interesting, and
look.
I agree. I agree. It is a good look. Uh, we don't know what Mean Girls will do in theaters, but we do know that that is a huge film, and this is a quote unquote refreshed version, and I'm sure it's going to do numbers for various reasons. And so, if Meg is aligned with the film, clearly she is. That's also a good look for Meg.
Right. Yeah. No, I think this is good. I think it's important to note that the rap girls have been getting these blockbuster soundtrack
Yes.
deals, you know?
Yes.
Um, we saw it with
Nikki for Barbie.
Nikki for Barbie. I almost said it wasn't
Wasn't
Nikki.
Ice Spice involved as well?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say first. Ice Spice. But yeah, Nikki, and now with this Meg thing with Mean Girls, I think it's really cool because it kind of brings the rap girls to the mainstream. I mean, I know they're very pop in very many ways,
Yep.
but I think it's cool. I don't know that you were always seeing that before, so
Right.
I like that. I like that they're letting them play in or they're being given the opportunity to play in these spaces. I think it's fun and it's lighthearted, and you know, a lot of times Black people get roped into movies or being involved with movies that are,
Come on,
you
take us
know,
there.
there's tragedy and there's there's tribulations
Right.
and it's not all the time, but a lot of times that's what Black musicians get tapped to be a part of when you're thinking about soundtracks, unless it's a Black film. So I like it. I mean, I love a slave movie with a John Legend track, right? But
All right, y'all. This is our show, Weeknights. Thank you for joining us. It's been great. No,
I
I'm
love
just kidding.
when John Legend does things like that. I think that's great. So it's not to minimize any of that, but I think this is nice that it's fun, it's light, it's it's very mainstream, which I think is really important because they
Yeah,
don't have to involve them in these big blockbuster films. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for Meg, and Meg's been on a strong trajectory for a while. So
absolutely. Yeah.
not surprising to see her being involved with something like Mean Girls. And
No, not at all.
um yeah, I'm are you gonna go see Mean Girls?
I am not. Now, I'll be honest. This is the kind of dad I am. If my daughter wanted to see it, I'd totally take my
You take
daughter.
her.
But when we
Yeah.
saw the trailer, she looked at me and said,
She was into it.
"Dad,
No.
what is this?" And I said, I don't know. I'm seeing it for the first time too. It's
Right.
a new Mean Girls. I don't know. She said,
Right.
"No, Dad, no."
No, not for her. I
I said,
understand.
"Oh, all right."
I think my niece might want to go. So I think
There
I'm
you
gonna
go.
I think I'm gonna take her. Otherwise, I don't think I would go. I'm not really a big musical person, and I know this is gonna be musical forward, so
Yes, it is.
not really looking forward to that. Um, but yeah, if she wants to go, I'll take her.
I also think, as far as cross promotion goes, this is smart because Meg's crowd might not necessarily be the crowd that's gonna run to see Mean Girls, but
Right?
now maybe this is a way for Mean Girls crowd to meet some of Meg's stuff and Meg's stuff to meet some of the Mean Girl content.
Yeah, I can see
So
that.
I always think cross promotion is smart.
It is. They should definitely take advantage of that. You might as well. That's how everybody makes money at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So nothing wrong
Collaborative
with
efforts
that.
are usually a good look in this arena anyway, something big like this.
Yeah, yeah. Well, good for
So
Meg.
yeah, totally.
Good for Meg. Good for Mean Girls. I feel like
No,
people are really excited about this film, and reboots or reimaginings or whatever they're calling it these days are a point of contention for a lot of people.
yeah,
And it's not always good, and it's sometimes it's like I just really enjoyed the first one, and the thing that I want to do is just keep going back to the first one. I
right.
don't want something new. I don't want to see new people. I don't want to hear a fresh take on it. I want to hear the 2024 version of something. No. So
Well, you can see in the trailer they've already modernized it. They've got TikTok in there and
you
I
got
think
to.
Snapchat. It looked more like TikTok, but
Yeah.
they've got the apps involved now. So
You got to do that. You got to involve
smart.
six and
I
and
mean,
and
if you're gonna do a reimagined version, you might as well.
yeah, yeah.
So I
That's
think
true.
it's smart.
Well,
There's another
good.
Regina we got to talk about.
Ooh, Black Lady Regina.
That's right. Talk about it.
I love me some Regina King. First of all, and I'm not talking about new Regina King, not like big, rich, you know, directing, producing, acting in films, Regina King. I always thought Regina King was dope from the time she was on 227. I used to watch 227 religiously with Sandra.
Some of our viewers are like, "What is that?" I have to.
Right. 'Cause
I've got to go search up what this even means.
yeah, because if you were born after the year 2000, then you probably don't know what I'm talking about, or
Right.
even a little bit earlier
Before
than
that.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love Regina King, and she has a new movie coming out on Netflix.
Yes, she does.
Shirley, I was just about to call it the wrong thing. Shirley, she's playing Shirley Chisholm
Yep.
in a new film. I believe Terrence Howard is also in the film, if I'm not mistaken. I saw
Okay.
when I saw the little snippet that they put out, there was also a still image and he was in the background. I'm pretty sure that was Terrence Howard. So
Hmm.
it looks good. It looks like she's playing the role well. I mean, I didn't know Shirley personally.
I don't think any of
But
us did.
but if I had, I imagine that is exactly how she would be. I mean, Regina King knows what she's doing. I'm never worried when she has a
Right.
film coming out. So
She's
I'm pretty
great.
excited about that. Yeah.
She's great, and she continues to show us every time she shows up how great she is. I
Yeah.
mean, even if you never heard of her before Watchmen, man, Watchmen was crazy fly.
Hmm.
What a show! And she showed you how to act if you didn't know.
Yeah, she's great. She's great. I have nothing
And
bad to.
she does all type of great stuff. I mean, she knows how to tap into a character. She has range. She's not the type of person who's typecasted. Regina's got range. I'm happy to see her in another lead role, and I think she'll body it. I need a
And
sip
she's
of
getting
water.
that
Wow.
Capital One money. It's Capital One, right?
What's Capital One?
I think she does the Capital One commercials. I think she's one of the faces of Capital One.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure. If it's not Capital One, it's another bank. But girl, get your money, okay?
get it.
And then
Get all the
some.
money.
All
And
of the
I
money.
also, I also, I also appreciate that
Hmm.
Regina is one of the people who have been trying to publicly push Black Hollywood forward and let people know, hey, we need more of these roles. Look what we can do.
Yeah, yeah.
And she got
And
no problem saying, thank you for my award. Now let's hire more Black people in our films.
exactly. I mean, Regina King is iconic. I,
Absolutely.
when you're, like I said, when you're talking about acting, producing, directing, and like you said, putting other people on and just putting Black stories to the forefront because they're not all slave stories. They're not all stories of tragedy, and I think she's been really good too at um, providing us with a lot of uplifting stories that may not necessarily be, you know, I don't know. Pick a film that's because I feel like we kind of got stuck in the love category, like in the '90s. That was very big for Black films, which is
Yeah.
not a bad thing at all. But it was just that's what a Black film was about for a
Right.
long time. Or we have like the civil rights, or
Right.
category. We have a lot of different things that are at play. So I think that the thing that I love about her is that she's so diverse,
Yep.
and it's never telling just one story. Um, it's never playing one role
Right.
um, when she's acting. So I love that. I admire her for that. I never
No,
wanted to be
she's
an actor, but she's like, I feel like she's the one that you got to look at, for the people who want to be that. I feel like she's totally one of them that
you should be
so
studying.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So I love
No,
that.
listen, Regina is great. Regina is great.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy to see that she's in this lead role. I'm very happy to see that she's in this lead role. I know she's gonna kill it. I'm excited to see it and see also
Mhm.
what route they took with the film.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm curious.
because
Go for it. Sorry.
that's fine. I was gonna say because I'm sure that this film is not just the presidential run, right? It's probably a lot more than just I'm running for president. So I'm
Right.
curious to see what route Netflix takes with showing us this story of Shirley Chisholm and her presidential campaign and what was before it, maybe what was after it.
Hmm.
So I'm curious to see that as well.
And you know I love a political drama.
Same, same.
So I am ready, okay? I am ready. It's coming out, I believe, March 22nd,
I
if
think
I'm
that's what I
not
saw too.
mistaken. So really excited about that. I can't wait. I can't wait to see her do that. I just think she looked like she really embodied the role. Everything
Yeah,
that I've ever seen about Shirley Chisholm, I see it. I'm ready. Give it
yeah,
to me. That's how I
right.
felt when I saw it. And it was, I think it was only like, what, 10 or 15 seconds? It wasn't very long. But from what
It
I
shows
saw,
a
I
good
was
scene.
like, okay, yeah. I was like, I'm ready for this. Let's go.
Right.
I want to know more. Yeah. So
Agreed.
excited about that.
It was a good teaser trailer. They chose a good scene.
Hmm.
Props to Netflix for that.
What else we got? I'm a little under the weather, by the way.
Oh, I'm about to
so,
say. I thought you was the showrunner.
normally I'm the one running the topics, but
Now I've got to turn
I'm
into
a
Larry
little,
Squint. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a little off my game today, so I'm taking the time from you.
All right, you got it, boss. Well, sometimes you got to become your own boss. And I know this is not the Sexual Intellectual podcast, but on
Okay.
the Sexual Intellectual podcast, I covered when Don Lemon was fired from CNN.
I covered
And
it hardly also. Yeah.
I said I wouldn't be surprised if Don
Mhm.
Lemon went and started doing his own thing. And you guessed it, Don Lemon has announced the Don Lemon show is coming.
It's coming. He said, let me try to get this right. I know I'm going to mess it
Get it
up,
right,
but
girl. Get it right.
I know I'm going to mess it up because I'm not looking at it. But he said something to the effect of, people need to have real journalism and people need to have an authentic voice.
Mm.
And so that is what he is planning on bringing to the table. And I am here for it. Okay. I know Don Lemon can be problematic at times. I understand. There's a lot of problematic people. The woman behind me that you can't see is Erica Badu. She's problematic. One of my favorite people. So you're you're problematic too. I think we're all a little problematic every now and again, right? Some more than others, though.
Nigga said guilty.
Right. Hello, it's me. Hi.
Guilty as charged. It's me.
Right.
Yeah, it's me.
Right.
I'm the problem.
Right. But I think sometimes I think that there is room for there's not room for disrespect um or bigotry
Mm.
or discrimination or we know the things that we shouldn't be making space for, right?
Right.
I don't really think that I think Don Lemon had some missteps
Sure.
that included disrespect, if we're being honest.
Okay.
Um, and that's why I say, a little problematic. But what I do think is that he is a voice that um, has value. So I'm curious to see. I don't know that this will be something that I tune into. I don't know the frequency of it yet. I don't think we have all those details yet. But let's
No.
say it's a nightly show or a daily show or something like that. I don't know that I would tune into it every day. But I do think that Don Lemon's voice has value, and I enjoyed watching Don Lemon when I watched CNN a lot during the last presidential election. So I would, get off
You
work
mean the
and
Clinton News Network?
right.
No, I'm just kidding.
But at some point, I don't remember what time he used to come on, but I would turn on the TV and I would watch Don Lemon for an hour. And I was getting a lot of information from there. And I like Don Lemon. I do. He's also very fun on New Year's Eve, but they don't let him do that anymore
Well,
because he does like to drink.
you know, too many lemon drops.
Listen, okay? But actually, I saw Don Lemon one day on the street. I did. Randomly, I don't remember where I was walking, and I was like, I think I know that man. And it was Don Lemon. I didn't say anything because he's.
You ain't give him one of these?
I tried to do that, but he was like, it was a Saturday morning and it looked like he probably just like left the house to go get coffee or something and it was like in his shorts and his t-shirt and he looked very relaxed and very much like he was on his weekend and no one needed to bother him. He didn't look like he didn't want to be bothered, but I just feel like when you see people like that, don't bother them.
Leave them alone.
They're in their normal, they're in their natural habitat. And I feel like you draw attention to them and you take them out of their natural habitat. And then you try to imagine somebody doing that to you and doesn't seem like a nice thing. So I try to be mindful of that. I did try to get TJ Holmes' attention one day on the train and he refused to look at me. I know he saw me looking, but he refused to look at me and in fact changed train cars.
He was giving off creep vibes.
He probably looked at me and said, "Oh, that's no Amy Robach over there."
Exactly.
Anyway.
Yeah, listen, back to the topic.
Back to the topic.
I'm not surprised that Don Lemon need some tea with honey. I need some lemon. Listen, I think it's very clear that Don Lemon brings value to networks. He would not have been one of the head people on the nightly stuff going on at CNN for so long. It's clear that Don Lemon knows his capabilities. And I think he had to really sit back and say, okay, what's my next move? Which is what I said on my solo pod when it happened, right? This network let him go. And so now we're going to see what Don Lemon does on his own. I'm excited to see what he does on his own, what type of energy he brings. Sometimes when you get fired or let go, you got a little bit of a chip on that shoulder now.
Right.
A little bit of chip. You might have a little Pringles, might have a little Doritos. Right.
Or maybe a
That
little
too,
more
right?
confidence, maybe this will be a moment for him to rise above like a
I think
phoenix
so.
out of the ashes.
Out of the ashes, right? Yeah, and so I'm very curious to see what Don Lemon will do with this new show. Will it strictly be news-based? Will it be by himself? Will he have co-hosts? How this is going to go. I'm also curious about some of the behind-the-scenes details. Maybe we'll get more of that as things roll out. Maybe this will be something that CNN does pick up, or have one of their rivals picked up this show. Is this an independent production? I got a lot of questions. I'm curious to see where all of it goes and how all of it will be presented to us. This might be a YouTube only show. Maybe he got a deal. There's another guy out there, I won't say his name, but he got a deal with Twitter/X, and that's where his show premieres every time. So
I'm thinking it's going to be more, it's going to be digital. I'm thinking it's not going to be on a network. That's just a
maybe
guess.
not.
I don't have any knowledge or reason to, he didn't say anything but I'm thinking that's what it is.
Yeah, and that's my assumption as well. But I'm curious to still see how it's packaged, how it's delivered. And this is a pivotal moment for Don Lemon. If he wants to stay independent, this could be his time to shine. But also, on the flip side of that coin, if Don Lemon decides he wants to get back on a major network, all he got to do is come through, put up numbers,
Get a
and then
Katt
go.
Williams on his show.
There you go. And after you
Oh,
break
that's
the
gonna
internet
break
a
it.
time or two, they
Right.
be they be. Excuse me. Can I speak to Don Lemon? Yes, we'd like to discuss an offer for your current show and any other shows you might have in the works.
Now, did you notice, sidebar, did you notice that there are a couple of other interviews that I guess Katt Williams has done? I don't know when he did them or whatever. I don't know if it's happening in real time or if these were already recorded. But I've seen a couple of, I don't know who these people are. That's not meant to be disrespectful. I just honestly don't know who they are. A couple of people have come out and said that they've interviewed Katt Williams recently also, and that they're going to be releasing Super Hot Fire, and that it's going to break the internet again.
I have not seen that, but it's smart. It's smart marketing. And yeah, listen, the wave is still going. If you can ride the wave, ride it.
Yeah. I just thought that was really interesting. I was like, I don't even know who these people are. And maybe I should, but I don't even remember their names right now to mention it, but I was curious to know if you had heard anything about his his additional interviews that he's done because
Nah,
they saying he saved a little something for later. That's basically
got it.
what they're saying.
All right.
So I
I
don't know.
guess we'll
Little
see.
side. Yeah.
I mean, Cat is hot in these streets right now, and he's not playing. He's putting out more stuff. And he put out his video running up and down the court.
Yes, he did do
So
that.
showed you his cell phone time in the video. Look at my time. So you know,
Right. Mm-hmm.
plenty of content has been coming out showing
Mm-hmm.
all the proof of what he said.
Uh-huh.
You know, for the non-believers.
Me? I'm a non-believer. Okay. And you know, shout out to the listener or the YouTube watcher in the comments who validated my point. Because I didn't care about the stupid books, but it's just about being able to. We live in a world where everybody gets to say whatever they want to say, and it doesn't have to have any truth and any validity to it. And I'm not saying that Katt Williams is that person. I just think that we all have to be mindful of the information that we're given by by first parties that are not like that can come off as hearsay sometimes. Sometimes it's like, well, why I'm supposed to believe you and not that person? Now saying you could run fast, that's something we could test. That's something we can measure. Listen, I'm a sales girl, okay? If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. I need things to add up. I need to be able to add and subtract and multiply and divide. And if I cannot do that with efficiency, then I have to ask questions. You've got to ask questions. And I think a lot of the times people do not ask questions and people just blindly trust the things that their favorite person says. That was it. I mean, I'm no journalist, but I was just asking the hard hitting questions. Okay?
Books, that's the hard-hitting questions.
All right, you know what I mean. I'm joking, but
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I
I
was.
agree with most of what you said, but I think when there's already side-by-side footage, which there was at the time when you said it, of most of the things that he said being shown, then why are we questioning books? Like, come on, son.
I hadn't seen a lot of the footage either. Just at that point when we talked about it, I hadn't seen much of it. So,
Well, you've seen
I,
it now. You
all
still ain't see
right,
it?
yes, I
Oh,
have.
okay.
But I'm just saying you just referenced when we recorded. So I'm
Yes.
telling you that at the time that we recorded, I didn't have all that information. You were telling me that in real time.
Yes. This is true.
All
I
right.
just think people were focusing on the minuscule parts. And I know Julio agreed with you. Shout out to Julio.
Shout out
But
to Julio, because Julio be knowing. Okay.
ah, My point was not that you shouldn't question it. My point was that there was so many other things to question. Why are we putting books under the microscope? Who cares if he could read 3,000 books in a year? There's side by side footage of what he's saying. There are entertainers coming forward and saying, hey, here's what Katt Williams did for me. Here's how much money he put in my hand. Here's the instance he paid me triple. Those are the things that matter, not the books.
Okay, but if you're going to get on a public platform and say many things, then I am allowed as an audience member to have opinion or commentary or assess what you said, whether it be about books or how many people you put on or who stole your jokes. I think he said it. Why are we diminishing one part of what he said because we think another part is important? I think a lot of things can exist at the same time. We can elevate him for putting people on, or we can support him in being someone who's gotten his jokes stolen from him, but we can also ask him, hey, you really read 3,000 books a year? That's it. We don't need to, I feel like we're going down a rabbit hole that we don't need to go down again. We already did. But yeah, that's, I just wanted to point out that they said he had more heat coming, and I thought that was really interesting, and
It's smart. If
made
I
me
had a Katt Williams interview right now, I'd have leaked it or I'd have put it out already.
yeah.
I wouldn't be waiting. I wouldn't even announce it. I'd just boop, put it out and start promoting. Paid promo right behind it. Boop, 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 boop.
Right. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, now is the time, because as that wave starts declining, so will the attention span of the people looking for that stuff.
Of course, of course.
But it's smart. It's definitely smart. If you have something, I would, now's the time.
Right.
6 months would be too late.
Uh-huh. I agree. I
Yep,
agree. You got to strike while the iron's hot.
that's right.
I'm full of platitudes today.
I see
Yep.
that. Hey, speaking of today, did you know today was Mary J. Blige's birthday?
I heard something like that.
Yeah, Mary J. Blige.
Happy birthday to her and her thighs.
I was gonna say, and her thighs. That's
And her
right,
thighs. In them boots.
and the boots.
Yeah. Happy birthday to Mary and her thighs. Love it. I hope that
Yes,
she is doing something completely fabulous and
she
fun.
dropped the video
And
today.
love it. And she's working. Okay? And I love to see a working woman.
That's right.
Go Mary. You and
Yes,
your thighs. There's a video you said? Because I would like
she
to see
dropped the
the
new
thighs.
music video.
Oh, I'm going to go watch that right after this.
Me too. Let's go watch
Sure.
it right now.
Okay, is that how we're closing out the pod? I mean,
I
is
was
that how we're
trying.
closing out the show?
I was trying to make a quick exit.
All right, well, then let's go watch the video.
All right. We will see y'all tomorrow night. Thank you for joining us. And we'll be back. This is Weeknights.
Bye.